good evening. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable knowledge. Good evening. My name is Badam Dash. I'm from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seeker, I'm proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and certified international education and training institute. In last 3 years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Profession is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student and community resource providing holistic social work and motivation letter and one knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids learning game, website, free course, converse sites, and many more. We help empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,712 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,712 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website. www.edugp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched a new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. So create your account for us with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy all features. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace slide. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session, we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificates, exclusive certificate. If you're a host of IGP, then you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you are an online life quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 types of institute certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of global professional membership, certificate of global influence in the pandemic, certificate of active knowledge seeker, certificate of social activities in the pandemic, certificate of achievement IGP knowledge seeking campaign 2020, 2021, and 2022. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskilling Organization Leadership and Managerial Skills. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research and Comprehension Approach. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Arts. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tools in Teaching Mathematics. Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now, teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50+ student services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical problem, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition to solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check out your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to check our button and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will benefit. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. At present, we are going to start our 1713 webinar, which name is Developing Corporate Communication, and today our speaker ma'am name is Anvi. She is from India. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker ma'am, wants to share a very little bit about her. Assistant Professor Shraddha Gangdharan College, Pondicherry, India. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Ma'am, please turn on your camera and please present your presentation.
आपका ब्लड ग्रुप वो नेगेटिव है तो आपने गुस्सा क्यों नहीं कहा तो डॉक्टर पूछ रहे थे और तो और किसी को बाहर भी जाना पड़ा उनकी खोज के लिए तभी भी आपने कुछ नहीं बोला क्यों नहीं बताया मुझे इसको कबूल नहीं देना अभी नहीं बोल रहे अस्पताल वालों को इस बात की गारंटी चाहिए कि ये खून उन्हें वापस लौटा दिया जाएगा क्योंकि इस ग्रुप का खून बहुत मुश्किल से मिलता है तो वो सुखा आखा संसार का खून दान करवा पड़े
Ma'am,
Hello,
I am
ma'am.
unable to. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
I
ma'am,
am
you
unable
are
to
audible.
hear.
Ma'am, please present your presentation.
Okay, sure, ma'am. Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Is my presentation visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the stage is you. You can continue your presentation.
Yeah, thank you. I think, ma'am, some problem with my camera. Anyway, I'll carry on with my presentation, ma'am. Thank
we can't hear you. We only see the presentation. You are not audible. You can turn off your camera, but you are not audible, ma'am. We can't hear you.
मम्मी हॉस्पिटल जाना है चलो जल्दी बाहर आओ मैं खुद को नहीं बराबर नहीं है आप सब सोइए मम्मी मैं आपके सामने हाथ जोड़ती हूँ प्लीज चलो सच्ची में बोलो मेरे कारण तो मैंने टेंशन ली उसकी वजह से मेरा बीपी भी गिर गया बहुत कमजोरी भी लग रही है आने मत बताओ चलो बाहर जल्दी आओ हमें बहुत देर हो रही है आप ऐसे नहीं समझेंगी जब ऐसा कोई हादसा मेरे साथ होगा ना तब आपको समझ में आ जाएगा हाँ हाँ आप तो मेरा बहुत बेकार हुआ अब आपके लिए आदत है बहुत कमजोरी महसूस हो रही है और ऊपर से मुझे तेल भी तो हो गया था और तू बोलना हो गया था ना
Hello,
Hello,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am,
Am I on?
if there is any problem with your camera, you can turn off your camera. But the thing is, I think when you want to turn on your camera, then we can't hear you. Your device is not connected in this situation.
Okay, ma'am. I think some problem with my camera,
Okay,
but
ma'am,
I
then
think
present your presentation. We can't hear a single word from your presentation. Only the slide is changing.
okay. I think hereafter.
아마카리나가 పెట్టింది వీడియో స్పষ্ট కరిగారు దేనిమా శిశువు వచ్చే ఇదే ఎవరికి వచ్చేగారు నాకు ఇది చెప్పట అని
Hello,
Hello, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
ഫഹീമ വിളിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നാത്താന്ന് ആർക്കറിയാം Yeah, let me continue with the contents. So today we will have what is corporate communication, objectives of corporate communication, importance of corporate communication, forms of corporate communication, 7 C's or principles of corporate communication, tools for corporate communication, skills required for professionals for corporate communication, robust strategies for corporate communication, barriers to corporate communication, methods to overcome barriers to corporate communication, and then the concluding thoughts. So, first, let's see what is corporate communication. Corporate communication, it refers to the way an organization communicates with their internal employees and external customers. So, in the way the organization communicates with the internal employees, so they adopt internal communication. So, for the external customers, they adopt external communication. So, what does corporate communication do? It improves the positive image of the organization and it enhances the reputation of the organization. And it helps in building the brand identity and image of the organization. This is the simple meaning of corporate communication. Then let's see objectives of corporate communication. So, what are the various objectives? The first one is creating awareness. The main purpose of corporate communication is to create awareness about your organization, both to the employees, internal employees, and also to the external customers. So they have to create awareness about their products, about their brand. The second objective is motivating the employees. Another objective is motivating the employees. The employees in the organization have to be motivated so that the productivity increases and it brings reputation to the organization. Third one is providing information. It is the responsibility of a particular organization to provide information about their business to the external customers. So they will get to know about the organization and it builds up the goodwill of the organization. Fourth point is handling organizational crisis. For handling organizational crisis, internal communication is at most important. So the communication between the superior and the subordinates, the communication between the subordinates. So all this matters while handling organizational crisis. Next point, creating curiosity about a product. So once the information is passed to the external customers, it will create curiosity about the product, about the brand, and about the organization to the external customers. Next one is informing about an event. For example, an organization, they want to open a new branch, they want to expand their business. In such case, about such events to the external customers. Now let's see the importance of corporate communication. So we have certain points. The first one is create brand awareness. So how can we create brand awareness? Through advertising and also by providing some educative contents. So how can we advertise our products or our brand? An organization can adopt various advertising strategies or various promotional tools like publicity, sales promotion. Even they can use print media or they can even provide some educative content about the organization. So all these help to create brand awareness among the external customers. Next is employee engagement. So you have to keep the employees engaged in the organization. How is it possible? So they can create a positive organizational culture transparency in the relations between the superior and the subordinates, collect feedback both from the employees and also from the external customers, walk the talk, do what you say, that is meant by walk the talk, and motivate the employees. So, encourage the employees, provide them positive feedback or criticism which help them to improve in their work, and create a positive work atmosphere in the organization. And the relations between the superior and the subordinate should be transparent. So they should not hide anything. If the superior wants to give some criticism to the subordinate, let him speak. If the subordinate wants to give some feedback, let him speak. So there should be transparency in relations. Build a culture of innovation. So how the culture of innovation can be built? Through knowledge sharing and through collaboration. By sharing the knowledge between the employees in the organization and also maybe with the competitors too. Collaboration, doing things together. The employees can collaborate together or they can collaborate with the people outside. Boost employee productivity. So how can the employee productivity can be boosted or how can it be increased? Focus on problem solving. In any situation, problem arises, but focus on how the problem can be solved. Engage the employees. We have already seen employee engagement. Encourage arguments. Arguments occur, but it should be positive arguments between the employees and also between employees and also the external customers. So when these points are focused, definitely the employee productivity is boosted. Attract top talents. It's a Herculean task for many organizations to attract the top talents to the organization. So for that, the organizations can adopt employee advocacy program and also they can have a positive company culture. Employee advocacy. An employee of the organization can be the advocate for that particular organization or spokesperson for that particular organization. That is employee advocacy. Then company culture. The culture of the company is to give work autonomy to the employees, encouraging feedback, encouraging positive arguments. These are certain examples for company culture. Then let's see forms of corporate communication. We have three forms: organizational communication, management communication, marketing communication, and one more, crisis communication. So now let's see organizational communication. Under organizational communication, we have two types: internal communication and the external communication. Internal communication, how the employees within the organization or the superiors and the subordinates, how the communication happens between them. Then the external communication, how the communication goes on with the external customers or the stakeholders. So this is one form of corporate communication. Next one is management communication. So this is how the management of a particular organization communicates with the employees and with the external stakeholders. So they form a vision and mission for the organization. So they develop a shared vision of the organization. They initiate some change process. So it is the duty of the management to implement change and to help the employees who resist the changes in the organization. So they have to initiate some change processes. Then provide employee motivation. Already we spoke how an employee can be motivated. Next one is marketing communication. Marketing communication is how you systematically deliver the messages, how the message is logically presented. Then next one is through advertising and direct marketing. So direct marketing is also called personal selling. So for marketing communication, there are various strategies that can be adopted by the organization, like sales promotion. They can conduct some events, they can have some publicity, direct marketing, some interactive marketing. Okay, so these are certain methods that comes under marketing communication. Next one is crisis communication. So crisis, we know it's a situation which hurts the reputation of the organization or business. So how to manage the crisis? So it is a response to a situation which hurts the reputation of the organization or business. So it is the duty of the employees in the organization to adopt strategies to manage crisis. So some training programs could be given to the employees which helps them to manage the crisis. So now let's see 7 C's of corporate communication, and it can be also called principles of corporate communication. So now let's see one by one. The first one is clarity. Clear about the goal, the organization, the members of the organization, they have to be clear about the goal, the purpose of the message, why the message is transferred, who the audience are, and what is the purpose of the message, how it reaches the audience. So the employees should be clear about the purpose of the message. Conciseness. Keep the message short and simple. The message should be brief. If it's lengthy, nobody will be willing to listen or to take it over. Okay, so keep the message short and simple. Next one is correctness. The message should be accurate. There should not be any mistakes. Grammatical errors should be avoided. So once the message is prepared, it has to be gone through twice or thrice in order to ensure that no error occurs in the message that is to be transmitted. Concreteness. The message should be clear and detailed information should be provided. So once the message is given, you need not think about it because you have given clear message. The message should be clear and detailed one. Completeness. The recipient understands the message. What the sender wants to convey, the recipient has received in right way. Okay, so the recipient understands the message as the sender wants to. Next one is coherence. As the message is systematic, it is logically present. Proper steps are followed. So the message is presented systematically and logically. The seventh C is courteousness. The message that is given to the employees or the customers should be polite. It should be friendly, and at the same time, it should be professional too. The message should be polite, the person should be polite, and the message should be professional, and ensure that the message reaches the employees and customers at the right time. Now let's see various tools for corporate communication. So what are the various tools for corporate communication? So the organizations adopt various tools like social media, websites, brochures, pamphlets, newsletters, press releases. They conduct some press conferences. They display some videos on the organization, on the activities of the organization. Social media. Now the information spreads fast through social media, like through Instagram, through Twitter, Facebook. Okay, it goes on and on. And the organization, through their websites, they can expose the details to the stakeholders or to their external customers. They can prepare brochures and pamphlets and newsletters. And also they can have some press releases. When some major events are happening, they can give out press releases. Press conferences can be conducted when there is an expansion of the business, or opening of a new branch, or introduction of a new product. Next one can have some videos. They can prepare some educational contents for the children or for the society, which is beneficial to everyone. So these are the certain tools for corporate communication. Next, the professionals require some skills for corporate communication. So let's see what are the skills required for professionals for corporate communication. There are mainly two skills. They are soft skills and hard skills. So soft skills. So what are the soft skills required for the professionals for corporate communication? Relationship building, problem solving, leading multiple teams, presentation skills, critical thinking, active listening. We can add more like time management, teamwork, then innovation and creativity, adaptability. When changes are introduced, they should be able to adapt easily. So these are the certain soft skills that are required for the professionals for corporate communication. Then hard skills. What are the hard skills required by the professionals? Content creation, managing digital communication channels, drafting guidelines, data analysis. So hard skills are some related to technical details. These skills are required by the professionals for the corporate communication. So the organizations can have some experienced professionals who possess such hard skills so that they can communicate well with the stakeholders and the external customers. Now let's see the robust strategies for corporate communication. So the organizations they have to adopt certain strategies for corporate communication. Let's see one by one. Clear cut goals. The first one is identify the outcome to be achieved and identify the challenges for the organization. The first thing is identify the outcome. What is our goal? Target on that goal and try to achieve the goal. Identify the challenges. So the organizations they have to identify the challenges for them. One, bench is the research. Organizations can conduct employee surveys so that they can solicit their feedback to service and they can collect feedback from their stakeholders. This is an extent
Dear IGP knowledge seeker, for some technical problem, our speaker is disconnected. We are trying to connect. In the meantime, we are going to start our quiz session. So the IGP knowledge seeker is time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. For some technical problem, we cannot continue the quiz session from our website. So to join the quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com and the quiz code is 2142430. I repeat the code 2142430. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please continue with presentation.
Okay, ma'am, I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
I was out. Can I start from previous slides, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I think, ma'am, there is also problem with your slide, so you can continue without slide.
Okay, sure,
I
ma'am, sure.
think, okay, ma'am, okay. Then continue without slide. It will be helpful for both of us.
Okay, sure, ma'am. So I'll start from 5 to 6 slides before, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Shall I start from this slide onwards, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So now let's see barriers to corporate communication. So the first one is semantic barriers. So usually we know that the communication happens between the sender and the receiver. The sender encodes the message and sends to the receiver, and the receiver decodes the messages. So first let's see the points under semantic barriers. The first one is poorly conveyed message. That is, the receiver sender may use some incorrect words, or he might delete some important contents. So the message is not poorly conveyed. Sorry, message is poorly conveyed. Okay. The reasons are use of incorrect words and deletion of some important contents. So the second point is varied interpretation of the message. So the symbols and the words and the meaning used in the message are misunderstood by the receiver. So in such cases, misunderstanding happens not only in the message but also between the sender and the receiver. Then faulty translation. The message is not translated in the exact meaning. Maybe differences in language. For example, the message is transmitted in English, but the receiver wants to receive the message in some other way, but the translation is not exactly given. Next one is use of jargons. So, jargons are the technical terms used in the messages. So, the people or the audience may not be able to identify the exact meaning of the term. Because, for example, The people belonging to the management cadre, they may not understand the meaning of the terms from software side and vice versa. So when a message is conveyed, it's better not to use jargons. Let the message be simple. Next one is decoding of gestures. Spoken words and body language should sync. It should be matched. The receiver should not feel defended by the words and body language of the sender. Next one is psychological barriers. It is based on the emotional states of the sender and the receiver. So let's see the various psychological barriers. Premature analysis. That is, the receiver judges the message before the sender completes the message. Or sometimes the receiver judges the sender even before the message is sent by the sender. The receiver judges the sender. Okay, so he judges the message. So in such cases, the message do not reach the receiver clearly. So premature analysis. Next one is attention gap. Failure to capture the message due to the busy schedule. We might have received the message through various sources, but we might have missed it due to the busy schedule. Then poor retention. Unable to retain the message or unable to remember the message for a long period. Poor retention capacity of the receiver. Distrust. Unable to accept the message due to the distrust between the sender and the receiver. Sender doesn't trust the receiver and the receiver doesn't trust the sender. So when some problem occurs between sender and the receiver, the message is not sent clearly and the receiver cannot receive the message properly. Organizational barriers. It occurs within the organization. So mainly the employees in the organization are victims of the organizational barriers. It occurs within the organization. So the first one is organizational policy. So in a centralized organization, there may not be free communication between the superior and the subordinates. So everything is centralized and everything happens at the main point. So in such cases, free communication is not permitted or it doesn't happen between the superior and the subordinates. Second point is organizational rules and regulations. So sometimes the rules and regulations of the organization make it difficult for the employees for an open communication, free and open communication. Next one is the position and status of persons. So maybe some ego problem or maybe differences in their positions and statuses within the organization. They may not be able to communicate properly. That is between superior and the subordinates. Then complexity in organizational structure. So we know there are various administrative levels like top level, middle level, and low level. So multiple administrative levels may delay and confuse the message. Okay, when it passes on from the top level to middle level and then to lower level, there might be some delay and confusion. And again, when it goes up from the low level to the middle level and to the top level, definitely some delay or confusion may occur. It is complexity in organizational structure. Then organizational resources. So the organizations, they can provide some facilities like complaint boxes, suggestion boxes, or any specific email ID where the employees can express their opinions. And the same way, the email ID can be provided to the external audience to voice their opinions. Next one is personal barriers. It occurs at the personal level. So, as an individual, it occurs personal barriers. It is confined to a particular individual. The first one is the superior is worried about his authority, fear of jeopardizing authority. Superior may feel that if I communicate with the subordinate, I may lose my power, I may lose my authority. So he may hesitate to communicate with the subordinate. Lack of confidence of the superior in his subordinates. Superior feels that this task cannot be accomplished by the subordinate. So there is lack of confidence of the superior in his subordinates. Hesitant to communicate. Sometimes the subordinates, they hesitate to communicate with the superior because there is no transparent relation between the superior and the subordinate. There is no free and open communication between the superior and subordinate. So they hesitate to communicate with the superior. So these are the personal barriers of corporate communication. So how can we overcome the barriers to corporate communication? So what are the various methods to overcome barriers to corporate communication? So absolute information. The communicator, the sender has to be clear about the information that is to be communicated either to the employees or to the external audience. Once the sender is clear about the information, definitely the receiver is too clear. Shared trust or the mutual trust and confidence between the sender and the receiver. The mutual trust and confidence. So when there is mutual trust, definitely the communication reaches clearly. Then clear and precise language, appropriate language and clear language to be used. It need not be very lengthy, but the exact message, clear language, appropriate language has to be used by the sender while passing the message. Interpersonal relationship. Interpersonal relationship, that is the relationship between two persons. So the two persons are the superior and the subordinates. So if a cordial relationship is established between the superior and the subordinate, there won't be any communication gap. So the cordial relationship between the superior and the subordinate is a must. Then opting the right channel or choosing the appropriate channel. So what is the purpose of choosing the right channel? It is to avoid misunderstanding. Misunderstanding between the superior and the subordinates, or between the organization and the external audience. So, the organization, whether it is for internal communication or external communication, they have to opt for the appropriate channel. Reciprocal understanding. The sender and the receiver must understand each other's perspective. So, sender should understand the purpose of sending the message. Receiver should understand the purpose of receiving the message. So, there should be a mutual understanding between the sender and the receiver. Empathy. In simple meaning, empathy means putting yourself in others' shoes. That is, the receiver's sentiments are not hurt. So the sender has to be extremely careful while sending the message, and he has to ensure that the receiver's sentiments are not hurt. Next one, walk the talk. Do what you say. We have seen people, they preach something and practice something. So practice what you preach or walk the talk. That is, do what you say. So the employees and your customers will have a good opinion on you. Visual aids provide charts, diagrams with examples so that it is extremely clear to the receiver. Listening. Gather useful information for future communication. When you listen, you can read between the lines. You can gather necessary information which will be helpful for future communication. Evaluation and follow up. It's not that you just leave the message once it is sent. You have to follow it up. Collect the feedback. Find out whether the message has reached the receiver correctly, whether the receiver received the message at the right time. So, evaluation and follow up help to identify the problems and find solutions for the problems. Now, to conclude the topic, an efficient corporate communication is essential for any organization or any business to survive and succeed. And the organizations, they need to implement corporate communication strategies. So we had seen certain strategies earlier. And efficient and effective corporate communication determines the success or failure of an organization. So think, strategize, and implement. So, with these words, I conclude. Thank you so much for your listening. In case of any clarifications, you may please ask me now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your
Thank
presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Ma'am, our first question is from Liutrim. How to improve our social media presence? What social media platforms do you use and how do you engage with followers?
Yeah, corporate communication, it differs for each organization. It depends upon it depends on our product, okay, on our business, the nature of our business. So our social media presence depends on what social media a particular organization uses. For example, an organization may use Facebook. Another organization may use Instagram to expose their products and their business. So it depends upon the nature of business of each organization. They choose a particular social media, and through this media, the audience they can give the feedback so that the organization can collect the feedback and improve on their business. Hope the answer is clear.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from Flami. Hi, everyone. Hello, ma'am, Anvi. How do the 7 C's make communication effective? Thank you.
Yeah, 7 C's, it is also called principles of corporate communication. Okay, why is it called 7 C's? Since the words start with C, we have called it as 7 C's. It is also called principles. Okay. So once those principles are implemented in our communication, the communication can be made more effective. Hope you remember the 7 C's like clarity. The message should be clear, clear to the receiver. So here I am sending certain messages that should be clear to the receiver, that is today's audience or today's viewers. and the message should be coherent. It should be systematically present. So just like that, if you provide a message or if you send a message, it cannot be received by the receiver properly. So when all these principles are adopted in your communication process, definitely the communication reaches the right audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Now, our next question is from Ishaya. What are the barriers to corporate communication?
Yeah, we have already explained in the presentation, like we have semantic barriers, then we have psychological barriers, we have personal barriers, and we have organizational barriers. So semantic barriers, it happens or it occurs with our language. Okay, language is not properly given or the message is not clear. And the personal barriers, it is between two persons, that is mistrust or some ego problem between two persons. Then organizational barriers, we can see like some ego problems between the superiors and the subordinates, or the organization policy is in such a way that the employees are not permitted to communicate freely, that is between the superior and the subordinates. So once you go through the presentation, you will have a better idea about the barriers to corporate communication. And in my presentation, I have also given what are the methods to overcome those barriers too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, again a question from you, Trim. When giving multiple priorities, how do you decide which ones to focus on?
Yeah, as I told you earlier, an organization will have to mind, or they have lots of priorities. So here comes the time management. Okay, you have to focus on the most important task. Give priority to the important task. Then you can have you can prepare a material giving importance to each activity, so the important one can be dealt first, then the second one. When the first one is over, go for the second one, and it follows. Okay, so it is the responsibility of the public relations manager. Since it is corporate communication, I could say that corporate communication can also be called public relations. The public relations manager, it's his duty to focus on which is to be given prior importance. Thank you.
Thank you
What
so
are
much, ma'am,
non
for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from Facebook user. What are non-corporate communications?
Yeah, what are non-corporate communications? Normally non-corporate, that word itself shows that it is unofficial. Okay, so we know that in official or corporate communication we use official mails, memos, circulars, etc. Non-corporate communication, I could say some examples like WhatsApp, then personal mails. So such are examples for non-corporate communications, because normally, in an organization there are formal communication and informal communication. So formal communication, it happens through formal channels, and informal communication, it happens through informal channels. And one of the best example for informal communication is grapevine, where the communication flows fast. Okay, so WhatsApp, SMS, then personal emails. So such are examples for non-corporate communication. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, there is another question from Ishaya. Ma'am, kindly mention the strategies to corporate communication.
Yeah, strategies to corporate communication, it's mentioned in the presentation too. Like the organization, they have to understand, or they have to capture the minds of the external audiences, what they expect, and accordingly, because all the businesses, they can't adopt the same strategy. Is it right? Because each business differs and they can't adopt the same. Different organizations, they have to adopt different strategies for their corporate communication, and they should have clear goals. They should conduct surveys and collect feedback. Then they can use some professional tools to reach the public through social media. They have to create a strong brand voice. So in these are the various strategies to corporate communication which I mentioned in presentation 2. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there is no more questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with your
Thank you,
topic.
ma'am. Thank
It
you.
will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity.
Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next, if you want to leave the studio, you can.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, after a short video, we will start our quiz session. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, for electricity issue, we cannot continue the quiz session. So at the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill, never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy, stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, tied to a goal, not to people of things, Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, I again wants to thank all IGP Knowledge Seeker for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.